Hello there folks, it is CAGEY Gaming and welcome to part 55 of our Neil Robertson Pro career on Snooker 19 and the fourth round, aka the last 16 of the last Home Nation series of the season. That of course is the Manbet X Welsh Open. Today we play against Joe Perry, a player that we haven't played before but certainly a very capable player and opponent. Now, we've had, of course, the 3 rounds so far. We beat Jimmy Robertson in the last episode by 3 frames to 1 and won our first 2 matches, which weren't on camera, by 3 frames to 0 in both of them. But, of course, got the last 16 today. If we get through that, then we go to the last 8, which is something that we did get to in the Quarrel World Grand Prix. But I think, as somebody could put in the comments on yesterday's video, it'd be great to go 1 or 2 steps further and even win this championship to add to our Scottish Open Championship that we got earlier on in the season. But without any further ado, let's just check the settings are all as they should be, as they are, and let's go to the 4th round of the Welsh Open. Now, I'm not so confident for this one, purely because I did have a friend of mine round on Saturday evening, and I challenged him to a few frames of snooker, and, well, lost them all. I'll blame the fact I was playing on a different television and that the lighting wasn't quite right, but hopefully that dreadful game, which I'm never going to broadcast, luckily it was never recorded and it's only between him, me and everybody who's watching this video now, I suppose, that I did get beaten in that match. But let's see how we get on here. It's definitely a tough match, this is, and with the hard AI, Joe Perry's going to be tough to get past. But I'd love to win this match, get into the quarterfinal and hopefully maybe book a semi-final place, but we can't look too far ahead just yet. Let's play this frame by frame, of course, another 5-frame match. So it's us to make the break off in this first. And that's about right in terms of the pace of the shot. Get it nicely back up to bulk. And that's a nice healthy break.
Looking to play safe here.
No surprises there that Joe's trying to play safe. But he does leave. Does he leave anything on? No, he doesn't. He guards those 2 balls fairly well. Just see, I'm just trying to work out if we come off the cushion, are we going to hit the red? Because it'd be it wouldn't really be a good shot, would it? He's played a very good safety there, to be fair to him. He hits that sort of angle, and I think we'd be all right. Let's see. Yeah, we avoid the red, but are we going to avoid him getting a chance? I mean, we didn't do half bad there to get it to the position it's now in, but ultimately we do leave a pot on.
Yes, he's taking the pot on. Which,
with the sort of safety that Joe had played there, is fair enough, but he's missed that amazingly. Real shame for him, because he got a good chance. But we're not going to complain, because it gives us a good starter. Amazed he played it with so much power, really. Seems so stupid. But oh well, as I said, I'm not going to complain. It gives us a bit of a starter. The black, unfortunately, not on, so it's going to have to be a long blue, I think. But probably a long green, just so we do pot it. Seems silly given this chance to go and muck it up by playing silly snooker.
Tricky shot here.
If that's even a phrase. But no, that's a good pot.
Lost the cue ball a tad there.
We did lose the cue ball, to be fair. He's not wrong. Bit hard there. Can't quite get through to that red. Oh, that's a killer. It is very much a break killer. I wonder if we can plant this. Ultimately, I don't think we can. Let's see where that one can go. Will this one that we're looking at, that we're looking straight on at, that won't go past the red? Oh, that's a shame. Maybe we could play a double on this red. But again, if we miss, which is highly likely, we do leave a little bit on. I'm going to be daring. I'm going to play it. Why not? Oh, that wasn't far off. That really wasn't far off. It's a shame, because it just gave Joe Perry a chance now. But both players making a mistake. Perry with the pot, and oh, he's played a safety there. Unless that was just a dreadful potting attempt, I can't be sure, but ultimately he's left the ball fairly safe. But we can pot it, which is something I think we're going to try and do.
He's taking the red on.
It's a tricky angle, though.
Wow.
We've got it nevertheless. That needs to pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up.
Great positional shot.
Oh, lovely.
Happy with that.
I'll certainly take that on a black. Can't complain. But he's been clever here because ultimately we can't get anything out of this. So we're just going to have to try and hit it. And hopefully we get into the reds. Well, we've hit one of those. And that, but I don't know. We'll have to see if we can get through.
8.
That one's our clear potting chance. But as you can visibly see, we can't actually get to the pot on that. But these two aren't touching, are they? So no, we do get out of jail free with this red. It's all very tight at the moment, which is what tends to happen with these early breaks. Particularly if both players make a mistake or two. That was a good pot.
9.
We've just got to work at it, get our position nice and right, and then we'll reap the rewards later on ultimately. Oh, we didn't want to touch that red.
Wanted more control there.
Oh, that red was the one I was going for. Next could have been about there. It'd have been a bang on straight pot. That's frustrating. Oh, and then we've got these two reds up bulk, which, to be honest, at this point, I'm fairly confident we can get to.
He's taking it on.
Might be a dangerous one, though.
Close, but not quite.
Not quite there, but luckily our saving grace is that none of these are particularly viable either
Neil Robertson.
down the table. So it's going to have to be a long pot from Joe Perry there. So it was a half shot to nothing because, yes, it does leave something on. But equally, he's going to have to take on quite a tricky pot. And it seems he's played another safety. And where's that cue ball going?
Foul. Neil Robertson.
Oh,
4.
he potted the blue.
Here.
Ooh, we'll force him to continue because I think that he's actually snookered himself on that red now. Which would have been a viable pot beforehand. We're just trying to play a safety on those. Which he's done half decently, to be fair to him. And to be fair, we've not really put ourselves in an awfully good position here. So I reckon we just... Because this is the red here that the angle's going to be on. Say if we played that safety. So I think we try and get within, basically in the pack. So that, in effect, one ball snookers the other, which is what happens at the start of frames. That's exactly the effect we wanted.
He needs to be wary of underhitting this.
So it's just a tapping match now. Quite happy with our safety so far. That means we'll probably muck this up. But ultimately, Joe Perry hasn't registered a pot yet.
This is fascinating.
Right, he gets that one out of the pack. Should play this behind that red. So whoever outwits who on safety, and equally, I suppose, who makes the first mistake. I mean, as you can see, there's no avenue there for any of these, so just play the secure safety. We've not really got any sort of motive for trying to play anything aggressive at this point. There's no point. No point at all. We've got a good advantage, and I think we can win this safety battle. Certainly if we keep playing the way we have done anyway in this safety battle at least. That's a bit hard, a bit thick. But I think we're okay.
He won't want to underhit this shot.
Interesting start to this match though. And now there's a bit of a sniff. But I am more than happy just to put it back to where it was. Because as I said, we do too much play these shots where we think, oh, let's have a go at it then. And then ultimately nothing comes out of it. And the other player gets the opportunity. So at this point we're going to be a little bit Selby-like. Of course that can lead to more of a problem. Because we're not particularly good at safety. I'll hold my hands up there. We're not a great safety player. Just want this to, if this goes wrong, this could lead to a chance for Joe. However, this should be okay. If we hit it at this sort of pace, yeah, that should be fine at least. I mean, that one to the left could be a possibility, but he can get to it, I think. I don't know. It's tricky to see. Yes, he can get to that, but he's gone for a safety or he's just missed it by a mile. I can never tell at the moment what sort of shot Joe Perry's playing. But he has left on a long red, and to be honest, I know I said I like to play these shots to nothing, and in effect then we get screwed over. But honestly, I do think that this is a good opportunity. And if we miss it, let's be honest, we don't lead the world.
So the long red to the corner pocket.
Oh,
Really
well,
close,
we have missed
but
it.
not quite close enough.
Shame.
This should
After
be
all that,
straightforward enough.
he does get opportunity. And he hasn't potted it either. God, you'd think we are a medium difficulty at this point, but now this is a much easier chance. But Joe Perry, for someone who was supposed to be a quite tough opponent, has not got going whatsoever yet. Mind you, it wasn't absolutely conclusive he was going to pot that red. It wasn't like it was an absolute straight shot. But all we can do from this point is just take what we've been given, really. There's a few balls we can pot from this position, and then we'll have to make our own position. But we might as well pot the ones we can do.
6.
Gain a few points, etc. And then look at what we need to do
Just
next.
wants to sink this into the left corner pocket.
There we go, nice pot. Now we've got a long blue potentially here.
That's ended up more awkward than he would have wanted.
7.
Did you just say that was awkward? Well, whatever you think, I suppose. But I think we're usually fairly good at these. Again, if we miss it, it would be a shame. But I think we're about fine. Yeah. Oh, that's gone a lot further than I thought it would in terms of the cue ball. Of course, I don't know if you realise the one I was planning to go for was the one to the middle. But ultimately, we can play another safety here. Not much problem with that. Not playing the cleanest of breaks, but not every break is a century, ultimately.
Worked out all that well.
Don't clear the table every frame.
12.
Sometimes you need a more composed frame. But oh dear, goodness me, he's left that hanging over the middle pocket. That's quite a dangerous one, really, particularly for any player who makes mistakes. That's a nice and easy start. It depends on your position, of course. If you're this side of the red, it's great. But if you're the other side of the red, it's not so great. But I have left this on there. But amazingly, he's not gone for it. Doesn't seem to have much confidence, really. But yeah, we're going to try and nick this red in, because I think this is a good chance. We can cannon into these two reds up the
That's a top shot.
up the bulk area while we're at it. And there we go. That's a little bit better. Position not optimal, but there is a space for a long yellow pot. At least we can control the cue ball a little bit better from here. As I say, it's a risk.
He's going for it. Oh, so
Well,
close. He needed
our
to
long
touch
potting
there.
seems to have gone down recently. I don't know whether they have adjusted the pro aiming aid to be a little bit harder. I don't know.
1.
But usually we pot those, but we haven't. But Joe Perry finally, after what, about 12 minutes of this match, finally registers his first pot. And now will he go on a run?
3.
It's got to go to the left-hand side one, surely. That's the much easier angle. The one closest to the red, the blue, but fair enough, he's going for this one.
4.
Now he's on the black. It's not always a great thing to hear when you're the opposing player. But ultimately, he's still a long way behind. He still needs at least 4 or 5 reds. So he needs to clear, or depending on what blacks he gets, of course.
Nice position.
But he still needs 3 or 4 reds from this point just to level the scores.
Well, I'm not sure that's what he
And
intended.
ultimately, he's out of position already, really. He could have tried the one down the cushion, but he was just trying for a safety wedge, which is absolutely fair enough. So we'll play the same.
He'll be pleased with that.
And it's a technique that doesn't usually work, but in this situation, it hasn't worked again. What a plonker.
That's a shocker.
It's one that usually works when you just play the ball up to the reds, but ultimately we hit that a little bit hard, and I think we've left these red onto the middle pocket. No, we have. Well, we have we? Yeah, we have. But then what on earth has he played there? His positional play has been really poor so far. Bewildering, to say the least. Try and tap this in.
He'll be disappointed with that. This is a chance.
1.
That was really weird. I'd obviously a bit delayed there from from Hendon. I thought, huh? Disappointed with what? Now, let's just check there is enough. I mean, there should be enough room for a blue ball to go in that pocket. I want to play with a fair amount of top here because, of course, those 3 reds down the table aren't going to be available. So I hope it comes up to a decent position then to get the red on the cushion.
Wow, he'll be thrilled.
Or
with
to
that.
be honest, even there. That's not bad at all. We can't complain at that. Because from here we can screw back, you see, for the black. I think this is one of our better safe frames. Let's screw back way too much, to be honest. Where's the cue ball gone? We're okay, just. Now, does this black go? Ooh, ho, 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 yes.
Half a chance here.
Yes, I'd say it does. But of course, we don't really leave anything on if that doesn't go, so. But equally, if we pop them, it's just, yeah. We might as well play this a bit of a shot to nothing, mightn't we? And there we go.
That's not bad. I wouldn't say it's perfect.
And then we can play a nice thin safety on these reds.
He's playing the safety.
But we're not used to doing this, really. We're not usually very good at safety. But this frame, Joe Perry's not punished us whatsoever. And that could be pretty tidy, actually.
Neil Robertson, 14.
You can just see the edge of that one red. That's a shame. And his safety appalling, really, there. Not leaving them safe whatsoever.
Not what he intended at all.
No, really not what he'd intended. The frame's still not over, though. It's ridiculous to think that Joe Perry could still win this first frame, so this has got to be accurate, which it is.
He's queuing extremely
Need this
well
black to
here.
come off the cushion, which it has. Great.
1.
Well, I think from this point we can't really muck this up. Well, I can't see myself mucking it up. We could well do, of course, but the ease of this black and then this red.
8.
This red being the next ball, of course.
Just the red required here.
And there you go, just the red required. So Joe Perry now needs snookers. And that was a very stressful, and probably too stressful really, opening frame. Depends whether Perry will show his true colours now, whether it's took him a little bit too much time to get into the game,
16.
or whether he's just completely off form. And plays to the top pocket now, but it doesn't matter because ultimately it's our frame. But that was a nice pot regardless.
17.
And we got the black. We're not going to be on the yellow, but we've got plenty enough gap. I think the gap's 55 at this point, actually.
24.
Yep, it is. So just play up to the yellow. And then we can get on with the next frame. And we are now 1-0 up against Perry. And that gives me a big confidence boost, to be honest, because Perry didn't show anything there.
24.
He's the man under pressure, really, to show something here.
Well played to take that frame.
But here we go, the
He's got a
second
one
frame.
advantage now, and we'll be looking to build on that lead by taking this next frame.
Thank you. The second frame. Joe Perry to break.
I have got my TV just a tad louder today. So do let me know if there's any sort of feedback. Because I can turn that down, but I just thought if I can get away with it, there's no issue. But again, Joe Perry has left an easy starter, which I'm not going to complain about, well, unless we potted the black. But unfortunately, what my plan was to get into the reds failed miserably.
1.
Which applies to the middle. And we could try and split the reds this
He's
way.
taking this on to the right middle.
I need a lot of power, of course.
Good to me.
And that doesn't look like a bad split.
3.
Can take that. Purely for position, I'm going to take this on. Didn't really want those reds to keep dragging across, but that's the way it is.
4.
If we can get to that green, that would be nice, yeah. Don't need too much backspin on
Not
this,
an
but
easy
just
one,
enough.
but a half chance.
Just enough to open up a decent long pot chance.
7.
There's 2 chances here, the one on the cushion or this one, and I think this one is a good enough chance.
Well, it goes. Half a chance here.
And let's hope if this goes, this cue ball rests near to the cushion.
Excellent pot. Super.
It's okay, it's satisfactory, I'd say.
Additional play there. Inch perfect.
To open up the black.
8.
And that is a nice pot, I like that.
15.
Come off the cushion a little bit too much for my liking, but then it's not really much of a problem. That red should go, shouldn't it? But then there is a bit of a worry about the black. So I think we'll play this one on the cushion. Regardless, because I know the black won't go even if we play this one, but at least if we play this one, we can try a long pot on one of the other bulk colours.
16.
So we didn't need to play it too hard, and that gives us better access, of course, to what will be the yellow. Trying to make sure we don't hit anything on our way back down.
Tricky.
Which we haven't, but position's not the best, but I do see one that we can
Tighten up on his positional play.
try and cut in.
18.
Tricky this, isn't it? So we're not going to play it with much power.
Not an easy one, but a half chance.
And we potted it, but unfortunately, because we didn't take the risk of playing with much power,
Well played.
we haven't really got much of a chance. So we're going to try this one. Oh, for goodness sake.
Foul
I tried to back out of
Neil
that
Robertson, 19.
shot, but actually ended up hitting the black. That's okay, though, because he's made us play on from here,
More awkward.
which means we can get this a lot safer, which I'm happy with, but that's a bit too hard, and we've actually opened one up. Ooh, dear. First poor safety I'd say we've played all match.
Sink this into the right
But an
corner.
intriguing match this is, actually. Very intriguing, because neither player's playing their best, but sometimes it's not about that. It's it's outperforming your opponent, sorry, and if you don't play your best, well, sometimes you don't have to be at your best to win, ultimately. That's a good chance.
It's half a
I think
chance,
we'll
but
take that on.
chance nonetheless.
This would be a great opportunity to open the reds.
That's a great split. He'll be unlucky if he's not on
Good
anything
stuff.
here.
Back on the black we are then now.
1.
And we're going to try fairly early here just to get into the reds and hopefully split them nicely.
A lot of power.
Lot of power here.
Split. He's got a real chance here.
8.
And now we've got a chance. So let's prove... We've proven our safety abilities, something we don't do very often. Let's now go and prove our potting ability and our break building ability.
What a top pot that was.
Not the best even there, really, already.
9.
That's going to be about in.
He's looking to pop this.
I think it's
into
worth
the left
taking the
corner
risk.
pocket.
Lovely. These all bloody block each other though, don't they? That's unbelievable.
16.
That's quite unbelievable where that cue ball's got to. Crazy. Well, we'll hit these and just hope one doesn't come
Neil
free.
Robertson, 16.
And Joe Perry will have exactly the same problem that I had, but he's gone a lot more aggressive about his trade. But ultimately, I think, got safe. We'll find out. Let's have a look. Yeah, there's only one red he can hit, well, we can hit rather. So just nick it and come back up to the, hopefully, a similar point on the table. That was way too hard.
That's an excellent shot.
But apparently it's an excellent shot, so clearly we cover everything. And he's hit that on the rebound. I'd say that's probably not what he wanted, but I suppose you never know. Just nick this into the pocket, which we've missed. Oh!
Poor shot.
They are tricky, those, to be fair, but I thought I'd got that sorted, and that would have been great position on the
Back
black.
into the frame here.
But now Joe Perry inherits our good position. And to be quite honest, if he can't make something out of this, then I think we will walk the rest of this game.
8. 9.
Could potentially make a mistake on this pink. I don't think he will. No.
15.
We're just going to have to sit and wait and hope he makes one mistake. That one mistake we did make on that red. And it wasn't the mistake we made on the red ultimately. It was us having our good intentions of putting ourselves in a good position that worked against us. But I'm wondering what he does here. Because these are all fairly close to the cushion. It's got to be the red he's closest to that he goes for next after the pink.
22.
Gonna have to be a long pot of some occasion.
What a
Got
trade
it.
off.
25.
Fair play. Levels the scores.
Towards the left middle pocket.
Now the pink.
29.
Playing with a bit more confidence now. All I'd say is none of these are easy pots, so he'll struggle a bit.
37.
But to be fair, he's making them look easy. He needs both of these reds.
38.
He's got to go for the black and then screw back. Yeah.
45.
You've just got to hope he makes a mistake here. If he doesn't, he'll clear up. And he has made a mistake.
Joe Perry.
Ooh.
45.
Well, that stinks. For him anyway, not for me. Got to get this right though, because then we can steal the frame.
Now, can he drop this into the right corner?
Yes is the answer.
Tremendous pot.
And we can work back up for the green. And then that gives us decent position, of course, like the yellow one. There's no point playing anything fancy here. Because ultimately it's the yellow we need. Along with the other colours. But the yellow's first on that list. And I can't believe that didn't go further.
4.
Well, plays a bit of a shot to nothing, can't we? He'll be brave to go for a pot on that from here.
Neil Robertson.
The situation at the moment, he's 18 ahead with 27 left. So I think my calculations are right. Where's the cue ball, though? Oh, well. Ouch.
He's gone in off.
ouch,
That'll be
ouch.
frustrating.
Foul. Neil Robertson.
But we're going to play on,
Playing on from this position.
because we have a chance now. So now the situation reads that he's 14 ahead with 27 to go. So that mistake, what could turn into a big mistake from Joe Perry, has opened up the frame quite nicely. But we didn't really get as much screw as we wanted to. That being said, I think I fancy me chances. Particularly at that pace. And that's a good pot.
5.
Just tempted. I played that a bit tentatively because I didn't know where it would go in terms of our position for the blue. The blue will level things up. I'm well aware of that position on the pink, which we've got to get. But there we go, a level. So we do need the pink and the black for the frame. But the pink is nicely positioned.
This pot for the frame.
Well, it is this pot for the frame. Is it? I thought we were level. Or have I got it wrong? Well, no, it wasn't really that pot for the frame, was it? Because it does come down to the black. Which,
If this goes in
normal
that'll be
play is
the frame.
nice and easy. But here, luckily, it's a little bit harder, but we've potted it. So, after 2 fairly dramatic frames and 2 fairly long ones, we lead this tough battle 2-0.
Played.
Great stuff.
2 frames ahead.
I think we really earned this lead.
To build some momentum here.
Ultimately, we've been the better player, of course, and Joe Perry's made his few mistakes. Ooh, that's could be a big mistake. There's always a risk of that happening if you play a wide break, if it touches the jaws of those middle pockets. Otherwise, it would have been safe.
1.
Can Joe Perry get a frame back from here, then?
Played at the right pace.
The answer's no. Not for now, anyway. He took the red and the blue, and now, as far as I'm concerned, it's all about safety. I don't think it was that good of a safety, but
That's an
Each their
excellent
own.
safety.
Be good if this roll behind the brown, but I don't think it's got the legs. It might do. Ooh. Just touched the brown a smidgen to the right. That would have been a great shot. Ooh, where's the cue ball? Oh, he's got away with that. Nearly got the pot as well. Unfortunately, that's not open for us, which is a shame. Try with a little bit of spin. I'm interested just to see if we can spin this in, which we can, I think. Yes. Let's play it fairly hard. There we go. I didn't think we could make that, but we got the spin. Position wasn't exactly what we were looking for here, so it's going to probably have to be the black.
Well, he's taking this black on.
Which we've got to. I wasn't particularly bothered about position there,
Not sure what happened there.
because we can just play up to the pack.
8.
As I said, it's not all about big breaks, and this match seems to be very much
Robertson.
safety orientated. No player can really get the reds open. Right, we're touching ball, so just play it back onto the cushion. And he'll nick that. Ooh. Not quite left an opportunity. I thought he might have done. He doesn't though, but we're just going to play a soft safety. And this should go up the table from here. It's a real dog match. This is real dog fight. Would be great if this was in the World Championship, wouldn't it? Goodness me.
Pace is critical here.
Be a never-ending match. That's a really nice soft safety. It is a really nice safety, that is, to be fair. Got to get this exactly right. A little bit hard. This could carry a bit. I think we're okay. Yep, we are. Can't believe how much safety we've had this episode. But, oh, that's a clanger. That is a real clanger. I'd have expected better from Joe.
Well, he's taking the red on.
Not going to complain, though.
Brilliant shot.
Yes, he'll be very pleased with that shot. What can he do here?
Got to get the black right.
1.
Good
Which
split.
we have.
That's really opened the table
Come on,
up
we've
here.
got to have opened up at least one red here. We won't know until they stop. There's a few openings here. I think this one nicked into the middle pocket would be as good an opportunity as any.
He's got nice position on the blue ball here.
And there you go.
9.
Couldn't say it any better than Folds did, really. As I've said, it's important just to pick up points you know you can pick up. I.e. here, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue.
To play this softly.
And then make your own position, ultimately. That's 11 free points for us. With 3 shots just to work out what we want to do in terms of position.
15.
I mean, ultimately, that's not the best shot, is it? No. Could play for the... Let's have a look. Got plenty of time to have a look at our options. If we play the pink and screw back, looks like a decent chance. Got to go right though, of course. It's a trickier chance, but it's there.
Excellent pot.
Simply wonderful.
And this one is now on. There we go. Just played through there for the black.
Nicely positioned for the black.
Admittedly, after this one, I think we might struggle a bit, so I'm just going to play it through and have a look at that red on the cushion. Yeah, that's good.
29.
Well, it's not fantastic, but ultimately it'll do. And hopefully this goes. Be great if it did.
He's lining up the
Not
long
going to put
red
too
to
much
the
onus
corner
on
here.
position here. I want to get the pot right, which we have.
Simply wonderful.
But the position is adequate anyway. But again, the next shot might be a little bit tricky to position ourselves for. Probably got to be the high break of the match, this has. Saying that, he did get a decent break beforehand, didn't he? Yeah. Well, he got a little bit lucky there, because that's a fairly stray shot, actually.
Well, he's looking at potting this into the right.
It's tricky. We've missed it.
He'll want to try and tighten up his
I did think that was a tricky pot, but we took it on.
Neil Robertson, 37.
Built up a little bit of a lead there, but ultimately it's never comfortable. Oh, bless me.
1.
Won't cut that out because it wasn't too dramatic. But he's got a second chance here to get back into this.
Nicely played.
Reds are a little bit loose, but you've got to work for the position on them. It's not like black bang, red bang, and it's not easy. It's not as easy as that. You've got to craft your position. But he's not too far back. Another 2 or 3 reds would level the score. Of course, there's 6 reds left on the table, so still plenty of leeway and plenty of swing that this frame can have.
17.
But I'm going to say I don't think, unless something dramatic happens, I don't think he's going to
22.
clear all the table here. I feel we'll get another shot. It might be a shot where we haven't got much chance of winning the frame, but I don't think he's going to, particularly, and that's not, well, no, it's not really based off how he's played either. It's just how the table's playing, it's how the balls look and how they're positioned. I certainly don't think he's going to clear up here, but I might be wrong, let's see. If he proves me wrong, I'm not going to be too grumpy about it.
He really looks in fine form at the moment.
31.
That's his first bit of fine form for the whole match, really.
Well,
But with this red, he'll level the scores.
Great technique, superb cueing.
38. 39.
Now for the black. A few more balls and I think I'll change my mind on that idea of us getting another shot. You've got to be mindful though. Yes, he'll probably get the black. Ooh.
47.
Luckily, if it had got any longer, he'd have had a problem. But that's very nice for the red. Fair play.
now that's a
But he's missed it. Well, I said we'd get another shot.
Perry, 53.
Quite unbelievable, that is. It's a shock. And I said we'd get another shot. Mystic CAGEY game, you know. Ooh, that could be a snooker. I think it is. Or you can just see the edge of it. It's always annoying when that happens. Well, we've got a chance here, and I'll take it on. I think it's worth it with the lead we've got. In the match, of course, not in the frame, but we've missed it.
Not quite. Pretty close though, but that
It
won't
was
provide
close, definitely.
insights.
Is there a gap there, or does the green block it? No, there wasn't a gap. But he's got the snooker back. I have to, with some force, I'd say, just to see what happens. If it's on the cushion, that's great.
He's
Yeah,
played that
there's no way
very
he's going to...
well.
Well, he could do. But he's going to struggle to pot that from there. Like I said, we had to hit it with some force just to try and get out. But the git's bloody got us again, I think. Oh, no. And just get to the other side of this ball. We're going to play this down the table. Oh, that's too odd. That's really odd. Really odd, that is. Because at 20% it said it was just going to go past the black. Well, that's the frame over really now. He's not going to make another silly mistake like that.
1.
It's a shame. Yeah, it is. That's a real shame.
8.
Just one silly shot. I'd have loved to wrap that up at 3-0. But we continue.
Nice.
You just start to get frustrated then, I
That should be
think.
it. No real
But
way
I
for
think,
the
to be
opponent
fair,
to
Joe
make
Perry does deserve one frame. Ultimately, he tried to fight back in both of the last 2 frames. Didn't work the first time. Probably shouldn't have worked this time, but, you know, on the whole half and half percentages thing,
28.
it's fair that it's one apiece in terms of that battle. So now we're moving to the fourth frame, something that I felt a few minutes ago that we could have avoided.
That's the frame in the bag.
But ultimately, you take a shot, you have confidence in it, and sometimes it doesn't work out. And there's not much you can do about it. Giving us a starter here. Going to be really aggressive.
This is a half chance.
Really nice opening red.
And there we go. That's nice.
1.
Those usually don't come off. But I thought, I'll tell you what, I'll take the risk. Might as well try and open them up again, to be quite honest.
This shot.
No obvious shot next.
Not a great split.
Yeah, it wasn't a great split, was it? You're not wrong there. Really not wrong. Unfortunate, really. Just try and apply a safety on it and try and get it past the green. Could be so marginal where this ball goes. It all depends on power, placing, all that sort of thing. That's very soft. That's very thin.
Neil Robertson, 7.
But I think we luckily, I don't know, but I think, no, I don't quite think we cover that one. No, we've covered them. That's okay then. Got back to a similar position, funnily enough. There's no obvious way out here. I say, it's just been one of those. It's been a very odd game.
He's looking to get the cue ball safe and tight to the cushion here.
Yeah, that's all we really can do. Try and get it fairly tight to the cushion. But that's left a pot on. Sometimes you just play with some luck and just hope that it comes off. But he's played a safety there. Probably thinking that one bad shot could be his last. To be fair to him.
The success of this shot is reliant on perfect pace.
Oh, bloody hell. I didn't think that had come back to hit it. But to be fair... no, it's not. We can see that past the blue, I would say.
This isn't easy.
Yeah. He's got his first pot of the frame.
What a wonderful pot.
Just not been clean in trying to
7.
split these reds. It can be a luck thing sometimes, I accept that.
The quality we'd
But well, he's
expect
missed
from a
that,
player
that's
of his
awful.
skills.
To be honest.
Joe Perry, 7.
We can pot that.
Taking it on to the left corner.
But we've just had absolutely no luck, and that continues here with position. Absolutely no luck at all. And I think once that happens, you start to get a bit frustrated.
What a pot.
But that'll
Well,
do.
He couldn't have played that any better. Superb positional shot.
Right. We tried it last time. It worked to some extent. Let's try and actually build a break. Something that we're actually paid to do. Well, we're paid to win matches, but I suppose part of all that is getting good breaks.
Nine.
Right. Let's take on this red. A little bit tricky,
This into the right corner.
but it's there.
In it goes.
But as you can visibly see, all these reds are in a really nasty position. Certainly none of them really potable, but we're going to try and get into them.
Half a chance here. Careless.
But once again...
15.
Ooh, hello, hello. Ooh, there's a bit of a gap there. Could be a possibility. Not going to play it too hard. oh, well, that's just hit all of them. I thought there was a chance. And, well, that's just completely ballsed up the whole frame, that has, to be frank.
Not really the result he was after.
I really don't think we've had any luck. I don't want to do the whole feel sorry for me routine, but it has been a very frustrating match. You know, we had to work really hard for those first 2 frames, and through a mistake or two, admittedly, but I think through a bit of a lack of luck, and sometimes those splits do come on quite nicely. Through a bit of a lack of luck, I think we're going to force a decider here, which after 2 frames, even after 2.5 frames, I don't think anybody would have put any sort of money on. But there's still plenty of time to go in the frame, still 7 reds to go, and still the colours, of course, so...
21.
That's a great pot.
But once he gets going, Joe Perry, like any other top 20 player, to be fair, like any other top 60 player, to be frank, they just get going with their break.
Nice position to
And it's
take
very
the
rare,
lead.
particularly on this difficulty, that they make a mistake.
35.
Like there, he's any lower down, that would have been an ender for that break.
36.
I wouldn't fancy that black. But he's going for safety.
Joe Perry, 36.
And to be honest, it hasn't really worked out. So there's another tail to this frame. Potentially.
Right corner here. Nicely done.
Good stuff.
1.
Now for the black. Need to work at this because I really don't want to force a decider. I don't feel we deserve to have to play a decider personally.
8.
Can't get too great position on this black. But equally we want to make sure this red gets to the pocket. Well, that's doable.
9.
It's just tricky to get back for those reds then. Gonna try and screw back. Don't want to screw back too much. Bear in mind it's going to hit the cushion, so we don't need too much power. Are we actually going to get lucky with position for once? That's not too bad at all.
16.
Fairly straight onto the middle pocket. That's all we could have really asked for, to be fair.
Not an easy one, but a half chance. Excellent shot.
Just got to work on this now. Got to be accurate. To be fair, we can just follow this through, can't we?
He does it.
And that would give good position for the red to the bottom pocket. Which it does.
24.
What the score's looking like. Just about ahead, so it is going to come down to the colours. Be very tight here.
Decent position to take
And I
on a corner
think
here.
we'll take... It's a dangerous one with the scores being so close, but I think I'm going to take on the blue purely because then the position's a little bit nicer for the next colour.
Well, no surprise.
But it's a fairly straight pot. I don't think there's much chance of missing. It was fairly tight, that was, to be fair, but
Great queuing.
we did it.
30.
Just the colours to go.
So just the colours now. Clear these up, and we win the match 3-1.
32.
We really don't want to overscrew this. It's
35.
just about right. So we're 14 ahead. This will put us 18 ahead, so all that our friend could do then, Mr. Perry, all that Mr. Perry could do is force a respot. So this
Nice
blue
position on the blue ball here.
should be the one
39.
to win us the match and send us through to the last 8.
Just needs the blue here.
And there we go, there's the blue. Of course, it's not all over
That
yet.
could effectively remove any ideas his opponent
See,
may
more
have
dramatic
of a
things happen for someone to lose for. But the pink, that's there. That puts us, what, 29 points ahead. with just the black remaining. That's only 7 points. And with actually probably our highest break of the match, we should make this a 57 break. We have won. God, that was stressful. Probably too stressful. We made it stressful enough. And in a game which I felt we were probably the better player, we get through by a score of 3 frames to 1 to the last 8 of the Welsh Open. But a good match. I enjoyed that. A very safe, cagey match. Yep, that was our highest break of the match. Joe Perry getting 214 points. It's certainly competitive, but a very frustrating match. But we've got through it anyway, and we are through now to the last 8 of the Welsh Open. So who on on Wednesday, are we going to be playing? Somebody new or somebody familiar? Not actually played someone we've played before in this tournament. So will that continue? There's not many out of the top 16 we haven't played. And we're playing Jack Lazowski. Now, I can't remember if I've played Lazowski or not, actually. I don't think I have either. No, I can't really remember, to be honest. But Jack Lazowski, not a fantastic draw, but equally quite a pleasant one. Because I think we'll have the measure of Lazowski. I don't know. I think that Lazowski is certainly a player, certainly in real life, who hasn't realised his potential, really. So if we can get past him, it's not the most huge of tasks. You know, considering we've had to play the likes of Ronnie and John Higgins and Judd Trump in quarterfinals before. But if we get past him, a place in this lucrative semi-final remains. And also, we get to pick up £20,000 if we win this match. So it all starts to accelerate. But as you can see, Jack Lazowski just there in 12th place. But that'll be on Wednesday at 6 PM as usual. Thank you very much for your company today. I've been CAGEY Gamer. Until the next one, I will see you guys later on. Goodbye for now.